Potentially, we're talking here about the biggest murder case in American history by far. If any of you like to get angry, I can tell you that what I'm going to say is going to get you very, very, very angry. These people take outrageous, disgusting human behavior to previously unimaginable heights. How evil, how perverse, how sick, how criminal. Can anything possibly be more abominable? And there are over 100,000 precious human beings in their graves right now as I'm talking to you because of it.
There's no prosecutor I would want to have if I were innocent more than Vince, and there's no prosecutor I'd fear more if I were guilty. He will get at the truth.
My legacy, for whatever it's worth, is on the line here. And I can tell you I would not be doing what I'm doing unless I'm very confident that under the law, he's guilty of murder and should be prosecuted.
And I think the question is, can a president be prosecuted for activities undertaken while in office? I mean, that's the opening question, and I think the answer to that is very simple, and it's yes.
Unless this nation is about to be attacked, you don't go to war without telling the people whose daughters and sons are going to die in a foreign land why you're going to do it.
My son died in the middle of these people's decisions.
Losing a child is just something that I'd never dreamed would happen.
We all can do something about it.
And we all should.
Mr. Bugliosi's basic theory is absolutely sound.
Couldn't reasonable men disagree about what an imminent threat is and is not? I mean, this is fresh on the blood of people in the World Trade Center. So,
right.
So there is and was a certain urgency. It's not like there wasn't urgency.
Urgency against whom? The American government believed that the guy responsible for 3,000 murders was at Tora Bora. Do you know how many soldiers George Bush
Not
sent?
enough.
No, you're wrong. Not one. How do you justify not sending one single soldier after the person responsible for 3,000 murders, not one soldier, but send 150,000 against someone who was as involved in 9/11 as you and I? How do you justify that?
Well, it's a very good question.
16 federal intelligence agencies, their conclusion that Hussein was not an imminent threat to the security of this country was completely deleted from the white paper. And the white paper is what was shown to Congress and the American people. And after 731 inspections, they found no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq.
Our money is going to kill people. Things are that bad out there. They really are.
Now, how could this possibly happen in the United States of America?
I'm a member of Iraq Veterans Against the War. I was responsible for several hundred patrols and raids and ambushes. And anytime we got pissed off, we took it out on innocent people. And as many veterans there are standing up and speaking out and throwing down their arms against this war, the civilian movement needs to back them up on it as well. This is reality. This is real.
Young American soldiers are being blown to pieces by roadside bombs in Iraq, and as he would so much like to do, wash his hands of all culpability, it's not quite that easy. And I'm very confident that if an American jury heard the evidence against George Bush, when they came back into that courtroom with their verdict of guilty, they would tell Bush, it's not quite that easy. Under federal law, Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 2B, provides, quote, whoever willfully causes, that's the key word, whoever willfully causes an act to be done, which, if directly performed by him, would be a crime, is punishable as a principle. That's federal law. The courts have held that the defendant, quote, is as guilty as if he had done the act himself, unquote. If justice means anything in America, and if we're not going to forget the thousands of young American soldiers in their graves whom Bush deceived into thinking that they were fighting for America against an enemy that had attacked us, then I say we have no choice but to bring murder charges against the son of privilege from Crawford, Texas. All I need is a grand jury in some little town in America, and all of a sudden things are going to change very quickly. Take my word for that. Apart from the main fact that if George Bush and other members of his administration, like Dick Cheney, are guilty of murder, as the evidence shows, they must be prosecuted for it. They have to be brought to justice. I don't have to tell you that we're living in a very hostile, extremely incendiary world. Now's the time, perhaps more than ever before, for America to show the world its leadership in democracy, morality, and the rule of law. I mean, we can't call for democracy and the rule of law in foreign nations, which we do all the time, when they see that we invaded a sovereign nation, Iraq, without any provocation at all, and thousands upon thousands of innocent Iraqis and young American soldiers are dead as a result, and we don't do anything at all about it. We let the architects of this monumental crime get away with it completely. No justice, no punishment, not even an investigation, nothing. How can we set a terrible, terrible example like this and then expect other nations to act in a way that they know we did not? After Bush invaded Iraq, for the first time ever, the majority of people in the world had a negative feeling about America. Nothing would improve our image and restore our credibility more in the eyes of the world than bringing George Bush and his administration to justice for taking this nation to war in Iraq on a lie, under false pretenses. We would be telling the world's people that invading and destroying Iraq with the incalculable death, horror, and suffering that resulted was not the real America, only George Bush's America, that the real America would never do something like this, that in the real America, no man is above the law, and even presidents are accountable for their crimes. Also, if we want to deter future presidents from taking this nation to another war under false pretenses, one that our children or their children might die in, that deterrence obviously would increase tremendously if these future presidents knew what happened to George Bush. This is a very important and pivotal moment in American history. And whatever the obstacles are, we have to seize that moment and do the right thing by bringing the Bush administration to justice. It's really a test of who we are as a people and whether or not we want to live up to our reputation as being a great nation.